Welcome, rail fans. In this episode, we are visiting several historic towns in central Texas, three of which are very important railroad way stations. Brenham is the county seat of Washington County, where a delegation of Texans met in early 1836 and declared independence from Mexico. I'm going to reserve a separate video for Washington on the Brazos State Park and Historic Site. Another historic town is Navasota, which has both Union Pacific and BNSF rail lines through town. The BNSF line is the western end of the company's Conroe subdivision, which terminates in Somerville in nearby Burleson County after crossing the Navasota and Brazos rivers. Somerville in Burleson County is the western terminus of BNSF's Conroe subdivision. It is an important rail junction for the company, where the Conroe sub intersects the line running between Galveston and Fort Worth. It has a busy rail yard where cars are shuffled between the two subdivisions, with a third line heading west to Brenham. Here, old engines 1639 and 1914 work to separate cars from a north-south train on the Mykawa subdivision. 1639 is an old EMD GP9U built in 1956 for the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railroad, and 1914 is an EMD SD39 built in 1969. They may be old, but they still carry the mail. Navasota is the largest town in rural Grimes County. It has been important to the Texas rail industry since the 1850s, when it was the farthest railhead into the interior of the state from Galveston. A Union Pacific line still runs south from Navasota through Hempstead into Houston. Navasota was a wild place until the early 1900s, with a reported average of 3 shootings a week until 1908, when famed Texas lawman Frank Hamer, then 24 years old, was hired as the city marshal. Within a couple of years, he made it safe for civilized folks. He is remembered with a bronze statue in front of the town's city hall, which is about a block off the Union Pacific's Navasota subdivision that runs from Houston's Lloyd Yard to Hearne, Texas. Hamer is most famous for leading the posse that ended the crime spree of Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow in 1934. If you ever get a chance to read up on this Texas icon, he was a real hombre, participating in no less than 52 shootouts and being wounded 14 times. He somehow managed to die of old age in his bed at home. Even into the 1930s, he preferred carrying a Colt Peacemaker and Winchester rifle, but he would just as soon kick a crook with his feet to subdue them as shoot them. Quote, "My feet are always loaded," was his motto. BNSF 7934 leads a load of tankers west through downtown Navasota on October 19, 2019. 7934 is a modern GE ES-44C4 built in the early 2000s. It's being helped by engine 4927, a GE C44-9W built in 1998. Brenham is one of those towns that is just a great place to visit. It has a small but great little fire museum that includes an 1879 Silsbee steam fire engine that was actually used by the city's volunteer fire department. It is now housed behind glass in the Brenham Heritage Museum next to the Brenham Fire Museum building, which was specially built as a fire station to house two more modern engines used by the department in the early to mid 20th century. Call in advance to arrange a tour of the fire museum. Also downtown on Alamo Street is the Brenham Heritage Museum, housed in the old Kerrville bus station. It has a great history of Washington County's public school system, which is the oldest public school district in the state. Brenham is well known for its mural paintings that decorate many of the walls downtown. You can take a walking tour of these, and there are several worth the trip. Another great tour in Brenham is the famous Bluebell Creamery on the east side of town. Bluebell ice cream is just the best. Through the years, the company has had some great slogans, from, quote, "We eat all we can and sell the rest," to "Cows think Brenham is heaven." People who live in Brenham do seem to be a happy lot. Also located in Washington County is the tiny town of Independence, one of the oldest Anglo-settled communities in the state. Believe it or not, Independence used to be the largest city in Texas during the days of the Republic, but it began declining in the latter half of the 19th century after its short-sighted leaders refused permission for the railroad to come through town. Independence is home to the Texas Baptist Historical Museum on Highway 50. Just west of town was Baylor University's first school for girls, which opened in the late 1840s. It is now the site of the old Baylor Park, which houses a number of historic buildings. Shown here is a photo of the columns from one of the original university buildings. There's also an old dog run cabin built in the area in 1822, and the buildings are open for tours a couple of months a year, but you can stop by and look at the exteriors anytime. Back in Grimes County, just east of Navasota, engine 8244 pulls a manifest southbound to Houston as it passes in front of H.C. Chandler & Sons, a large facility that refurbishes and lines railroad tank cars. UP's 8244 is an EMD SD 9043 Mac built in 1998. It's being helped by engine 6877, an AC44CW built in 1995, and engines 5684 and 5625, which are both AC44CW CTEs built in the early 2000s. Union Pacific's 9021 leads another manifest westbound on the Navasota subdivision at FM 362 just west of Stoneham, Texas, near Navasota. 9021 is an EMD SD70AH. It's being helped along by engines 6575 and 5796, both AC44 CWs. Here's a bonus train. BNSF's 9098 pulls a load of empty rock gondolas west through Navasota on October 26, 2019. Pushing from the back are engines 8107 and 4182. If you're in Brenham and want a proper cup of tea, please try Catherine's Victorian Tea Room, located at 302 South St. Charles Street in downtown. Open from 11 to 3 every day but Sunday, she'll serve you tea English style with scones, sandwiches, and the works. Even if you're a little rough around the edges like me, you can always appreciate a proper brew. Just remember to use your napkin properly. Dab your lips, don't wipe, and fold it neatly when you're finished. Catherine will appreciate your good manners. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and hit that subscribe button.